You're live. Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Iacino, the Director of Community Engagement, and today I'm joined by one of our foster parents, Miss Angela Escalante. Angela's been a foster parent with us since March.
Yeah.
And so she's a fairly new foster parent to Parents by Choice, but she has been a foster parent with another agency. And she's just going to kind of share her story a little bit, her experience. So if you guys have any questions about becoming a foster parent, or some incidents that could happen in a foster home, feel free to ask in the chat, and I'll check those periodically, and we'll kind of talk about that. All right, so Angela, what was your motivation to become a foster parent?
So I think my motivation to becoming a foster parent was seeing the real need for it just in the community, and knowing that, okay, what resources do I have to help? And so knowing, okay, I have a room in my house, knowing I have love to share, and then using my resources to help. I think that's what really motivated me and my husband to help, is just seeing the need and then using what we had to meet the need.
Okay. So how did you learn about foster care?
So I learned about foster care probably 4 years ago when we lived in a different county. It was Solano County we lived in, and a few of our friends from church were fostering and kind of shared with us a little bit about it. And that's when we first started our foster care journey, was about 4 years ago in that county.
Okay. So you were a foster parent with Aldea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that experience.
So it was a good experience with the agency or with the
Just child agency, the whole thing.
Okay. So it was a good experience. After we got licensed, I want to say maybe like a week after we got licensed, we got our first call for placement. It was a younger child, only because we only had one bedroom in the home. So we had to do an infant. And about a week after we got licensed, we got a call for the infant. And we had him for a couple months. And it was a really good experience. And thankfully and happily, even though it was sad for us, it was good for him that one of his family members from another sibling stepped up and wanted to take care of him. So then he left our home to go with them. And the really, really cool part about that is his family still keeps in contact with us, which I know doesn't happen all the time, but it is a possibility sometimes. And so they FaceTime us and call us, and he just had his third birthday or fourth birthday a couple days ago, so we were able to call him and tell him happy birthday and mail him a gift. So that was a really, really good experience that I was really thankful for.
Wow. It's so surprising that you were able to keep in contact with this child. That doesn't happen a lot, so that's amazing.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends from our church who did fostering telling us they're going to keep in contact with you and they're going to call you and let you see him. And I was like, yeah, and that's what they said. They're like, Angela, that never happens. So I'm so thankful to his family. She always says, it takes a village, Angela, and the more the merrier. So I'm really thankful to her that we're still able to be in contact with him.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so did you guys have any concerns prior to becoming a foster parent or foster family?
So I think our concerns back then was probably, did we have enough space? Did we have enough room? Which we obviously did, and we made it work. And I think this time around, being in this county and having a daughter of our own, I think our concerns were, okay, how is everyone going to mix and mingle with everyone's personalities and ages and genders? How are we going to make this work so that everyone feels comfortable and everyone feels loved, and we're spending time with each kid? But you quickly learn to just jump in and you just make it work somehow. So that was one of our things that we considered and thought about before fostering.
Okay. So now that you're with Parents by Choice, or when you came to Parents by Choice, how was that process for you to become a foster parent again?
The process was good. It was very quick and easy with Parents by Choice. It didn't take us long. I want to say maybe 4 months. I think the longest thing was waiting for our fingerprints to come back. But everyone was really helpful. The girl, I don't know if we could say names or not, but the girl who did our home inspection with us and was our licensing analyst, she was, I mean, awesome. She went around our schedule. She would check in with us. She would text me and tell me, okay, we're still waiting for this, or don't forget to do that, or when you have a second, can you turn this into me? So she kind of really kept us on track. And then with the online binti, I believe it's called, yeah, which is the online program to get licensed, that was super easy too, and really convenient because we were able to work at our own pace doing it and take our own steps, you know, whether that was slower or a little bit longer to get there. So having it online was a new experience for me, which made it really simple and really easy.
That's awesome. We've heard a lot of like things with binti. You know, people are struggling with how certain things work and everything. So I'm glad to hear that you had a good experience, a positive experience with it.
Yeah, it was fairly easy to me, at least. I felt it was pretty out there. You know, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you upload all your documents on there just by taking pictures and sending it. So I liked it because then we could track our progress too. It would tell me when I log in, okay, you've done, you know, 1, 2, 3. Don't forget about step 4, 5, and 6. And then you couldn't move forward to the next step until you did those steps. So that's why I liked it. It kind of helped me as an organizer just stay organized and focused.
Oh, all right. So you sound like you were very motivated to get this process going. You're very organized as it is. So
yeah, and that it helped me more even. So,
right.
And I'm a visual person too. So if you're visual, I feel like the binti was good too because you could see, you know, what you needed to do. But yeah, the process for us with you guys was really quick and easy, and a lot of support from your guys' licensing analysts too.
All right, perfect. So how long after you were approved did you get a placement?
I want to say maybe 3 weeks or a month. I know it wasn't like longer than a month. Is when we got our phone call, and that's always like, you know, so exciting. I had like my ringer up all, you know, from the moment I got licensed, I had my ringer up all the way and a special ringtone for Parents by Choice, so I would know. And that was that was good too, a good experience.
Okay. So when the kids were placed in your home, how was that process? Did someone bring the kids out? Did you have to meet someone to get the kids?
So one of your guys' social workers, which
you can say names, it's okay.
Okay, so Savannah and Richard, who I absolutely love, Savannah and Richard so much. I'm sure everyone's awesome, but I've only had the privilege of working with them. They both came out. Anna Mariah and another lady, I forgot her name. So you felt really supported, like right off the bat. A good support team came, and they brought the boys to us, and you know, all their belongings, and they didn't just like say, okay, here you go, and leave. They were, you know, do you have any questions? Do you want to talk privately in the kitchen? Do you want me to help take their things up to the bedroom? So I was like, oh wow, you know, all this support. Okay, sure, you know. So it was nice seeing like all the support the kids had and all the support we had too, and just knowing that, okay, I have a lot of people here to help me if I have any questions or to help make it a smooth transition. But yeah, they came right to our house with the boys and with all of their belongings that same day after I got the phone call.
Okay. So they came with all their belongings, which is another kind of rare thing. Mm-hmm. So you didn't have to like go shopping for them, or?
Oh yeah, we did. Oh yeah, all of their belongings, but a lot of things that, not the necessities. I was like, as I was going through and taking a note of what they had, I'm like, where's the toothbrush? Where's the socks? All those little things that, you know, you kind of forget about. So we did do a quick Target run that night to just get, you know, some bare necessity things, probably things I should have already had there, but yeah, just, you know, like toothbrushes and socks. And then we asked them, like, is there anything special that would help you, you know, feel comfortable your first night here? Is there a certain, you know, little animal you want to get, or a specific dinner you want to eat, just to make them feel a little more comfortable on their first night. So we did take them with us and include them. Do you want to pick out your toothbrush? Do you want a character toothbrush? What kind of toothpaste do you like? So making them feel as involved and as comfortable, just to help them ease through that first night.
Right. That's amazing.
Fun.
Okay. Did they come with suitcases, plastic bags?
Sadly, it just they came with garbage bags.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was tough off the bat scene, but yeah, that's what they came with.
Okay. So a lot of the times, kids come in with trash bags. That's unfortunate, but that's why Parents by Choice provides duffel bags. We every once in a while we'll do like a suitcase drive, so that way we have stuff for them to put their things in. But that's usually when they're getting ready to leave our homes.
Yeah.
And not when they're coming in, because we don't have as much control then.
Right.
So yeah. All right. So they've been in your home for quite a while now.
Yeah. Let's see. 4.5 months, I want to say. I think next month will be 5 months. Yeah.
Okay. So that honeymoon period's kind of worn off with the kids. How is it now with, the behaviors in the home and things like that?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. the honeymoon, periods that we call it. I kind of I know some would probably say differ, but I kind of like how that period's ended, because it just makes me know, okay, like they're comfortable here. They feel like this is their home now. They respect us as the parent figures, and you see more and more, about them and their personalities, the good things and the bad things, and okay, what could you help them with? What some of their strengths are, and I would have to say it's going good. Of course, not every day in foster care is sunshine and rainbow day, but that's foster care. We have our good days and our bad days, our happy days and moody days, and we teach them that, sometimes we have bad days, and that's okay. We just try again and try to make it a good day. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is just all those emotions of, especially with school and the distant learning. We're just learning, just taking it one day at a time with the distant learning, working towards goals, having incentives for them, just trying to encourage them and support them, be involved with their teachers. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay. So what age are the boys that are in your home?
Okay, so now we have 3 boys. So our youngest boy is 4, and then our middle one is 6, and our oldest one is 7. And then we also have a biological daughter who's 3. So we have 4 in the home, but yeah, three foster boys.
Okay. And do they get along with your daughter and everything?
For the most part, I mean, it's so normal, you throw 4 kids in a room with all different ages. After an hour, there's bickering, even shorter nowadays. But everyone, and with our daughter, we were really open and honest with her when we were starting the process. I know she's only 3, but we made sure, me and my husband, to be really communicative with her and telling her, okay, and it's going to look different for every age of the child, the conversation, but in her terms, for a 3-year-old, we were really open with her, and we told her, okay, we're going to have someone come to our home who needs help, and we're going to help them for a little bit, and we're going to share this room with them, and you're going to help them feel comfortable, and you're going to be a friend to them, and then in a little bit, then they'll go back to their family when their family's better, and then we'll welcome someone else into our home. And so we were really always telling her that every day, when we would get the room ready during the process, we would tell her, this is for the boys' room, this is for whatever boys are going to come here. And we made her even pick out some things. You want to pick out some toys for the boys' room? So we really wanted her to feel involved, like she was a part of it. So I think that really helped her with the transition of having the kids come into the home, because she was already expecting, she was already knowing any day someone's going to come into our home. So that helps now, I think, to answer your question, how everyone gets along. I think, her knowing that there's going to be kids there, and then off the bat, us telling the kids, oh, this is Grace, and she lives in the home, she's 3, she's going to be one of your friends. Just setting that right off the bat, we're all friends, we all share this place, we're all a family, I think really helps them all get along. but of course it's the normal sibling, sibling fights or sibling rivalry, but just a lot of words, that we use with them,
Oh, that's awesome. Like, I struggle because I went to an elementary school, telling them their donations were going to go to kids in foster care. So trying to explain that to younger kids is so difficult. And it sounds like you guys did an amazing job explaining it to a 3-year-old. I'm like impressed.
Yeah. There's some books too, even. There's some books on Amazon. I don't know the exact names of them, but if you type in like foster care books, there's some like specifically for foster kids and others for biological kids, explaining to them about foster kids coming into the home. So, books always help too. But I would definitely just encourage anyone who has kids, just being really open with them and honest with them and explaining everything to them so they know what's coming. Nothing's a surprise. And I think the conversation will look different for each different age of kid. But yeah, it was fun getting to explain it to her, and yeah.
Awesome. Let's see if there's anything in the chat yet. If my mouse is working, maybe not. Nope, nothing yet. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so what are some of the more challenging things that you've faced in the home so far with the boys?
So I think some of the more challenging things, and it's kind of like going back to a little bit of what I explained earlier, is just having me and my husband making sure that we're giving like all the kids their individual time and then family time. Like learning that balance, I think for us with 4 kids in the home has kind of been like a struggle that we're learning. Because, we want to make sure that they each feel that individual, bond with us, and then that we're also taking time all together with all 4 of them as a family. So just, learning the balance of that, like one day, okay, you take big brother, I'll take little brother, and the next day we'll switch, and then the third day, let's all have a big dinner and game night. So I think just learning the balance of it all, juggling it all, trying to balance in everyone's time. But I definitely just learned that you just kind of learn as you go. No one's perfect at it. We just kind of learn as we go and give each other lots and lots of grace and reminders, and they all know that they all know that they're loved and that we love spending time with them. And even if we don't get to it, that day with each individual one or a group, they all know at the end of the day. So
okay. So with COVID-19, has it been a struggle for your family to do those types of things, or?
It has, because we love to be out of the house, love going places and, exploring with them. I mean, especially with all the energy that the kids have, like, dinner at the park and movies and anything out of the house, So it definitely has been a challenge. So we've been trying to resort and just be a little more creative, like, camping in the backyard, or, making ice cream or making pizza or just other things. We've been just trying to like, okay, let's get creative here. What other fun things can we do? So yeah.
Okay. So I totally forgot. We have a picture of your family. So I'm going to show that real quick. And then if you want to explain it at all.
Okay.
So that's your beautiful family there.
That is all of us. Yeah, we took that on Sunday when we were leaving church on our way to pick up lunch. Yeah, that's on the, okay, let's see. By me, it's our oldest brother. That's the one who's, I said, 7. And then little brother, the 4-year-old, and that's Grace, who's 3. And then by my husband is middle brother, who's 6.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all of us.
It's a cute little family.
They have cute smiles behind the hearts.
Yeah. Due to confidentiality, we have to, do smiles over the faces, hearts, things like that, so we can still do family pictures. But if we wanted to post it anywhere, we have to, respect confidentiality.
Yeah.
So thank you for putting the hearts on the kids. I know that's probably one of the challenging things as a parent.
It is, because you really want to share. I'm all about like, okay guys, smile, or even when we're not looking. I love taking pictures. I love the memories of it. We have a frame in our house actually that my brother gifted to us, and it's a huge frame. I think there's 25 different like slots, pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time a child comes into our home, we take a picture of them, and then we print it out and we put it into the frame, just so that they feel like they're a part of the family, and they feel comfortable, seeing themselves there and knowing that, we're all a family. And so we took that one, and oldest brother, he was like, can we put that into the family frame? I go, yeah, we can. So yeah, that's really cool. But it is hard because you do, like I said, want to take pictures and share. But the hearts is a good
outlet.
Outlet for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys can always take pictures and then just keep them to yourselves. Yeah. You just can't share them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why the frame. I love having that frame because I like, the pictures without the hearts.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a question. We have a couple questions here. All right. So, the first question comes from Leela. What has been your greatest joy during your foster parenting journey?
Okay, I think one of our greatest joys have been seeing the kids do something that coming into the home they weren't able to do or they were scared to do. Like, for example, Big Brother, he came to our home and Parents by Choice gave him a bike, and he was absolutely terrified of riding it. I mean, terrified. And, we didn't push it. We said, okay, we'll just keep trying a little bit each day. And now every day, can we go for a bike ride? Can we go around the block 10 times? Can I go on a bike ride? And just the other day I told him, I said, do you remember when you first came and you were terrified of getting on your bike? Just getting on it. And now you're doing laps around the court, and he just learned how to swim too over this weekend. So seeing them like grow from that first day and learn new things and accomplish new tasks, I think it brings me so much joy seeing them do that.
That's awesome. Make sure I didn't miss any up top. Nope. Okay. So Amy asks, what has been easier about the process and experience than you expected? And what parts have been hard for you?
Okay. I think what has been the easiest... Okay, actually, hold on. Maybe I'll do the hardest first and the easiest.
Okay.
Okay, I think... and I kind of talked about it a little bit too at the beginning. One of the hardest things is just like I said, making time for each. And then now with COVID, trying to be out of the box creative, what we could do indoors. So far, that's been the hardest. I'm like, if this is the hardest, we're good. But like I said, sometimes you just have hard days. You get overwhelming days. I think another hard part is seeing the kids sometimes get upset, sometimes missing their family, missing their home, missing their life before. I think that by far the hardest thing is because you don't want to see the kids hurt, and they literally are in a place of hurt and in a place of trauma, and seeing that, it just shatters your heart to a million pieces. So that has been just the hardest thing, knowing that they're going through so much hurt and you're trying to help so much and be there so much, but there's only so much you could do. But going along with that, I think it's important too to allow them and give them that space and that time and that freedom to feel their emotions and feel their feelings and express it to you. Sometimes they don't want you to say anything back, but just being an ear on the couch, listening to them and just saying, I'm sorry, buddy, and giving them a hug, and or it'll be okay, or I'm sorry you had to go through that, or you're here now and you're safe. Can I help you with anything? I think for us, that's one of the hard things that we're going through right now with our boys. And one of the easiest things, I think, is besides how easy it was to get licensed, I feel I don't want to sound cliche, but I feel just like loving them and being there with them. I mean, you kind of always get a little nervous when you get that first phone call or any phone call after about, how are they going to do in my home? How are they going to mingle? How are we going to find more love for them in our hearts, But I think just knowing, like, you have enough love for each kid in your home and that's all they need. They don't need a lot. The number one thing I get from parents, or I mean friends of mine who, say, oh, you're a foster parent, I would love to do that. How do you do it? I always tell them, you guys, it doesn't take a lot. You don't need a lot. Anybody could do it. If you have, space in your home and love in your heart, you're able to do it. You're able to give them what I'm giving them. There's nothing more special about me than there is you. And they'll always say, but how do you do it? I would get so attached. I hear that. I don't even know how many times.
Mm-hmm.
I would get so attached. And I always tell them, that's exactly what these kids need, for someone to love them so much and get attached to them so much. And I always say to anybody who says, but I would get too attached, I'm like, then you should be a foster parent. If you're going to get too attached, that's what they need is these strong, responsible adults to get attached to them and be there with them, during their time of transition. So, yeah, that was a good question.
I've talked to a foster parent before, and she said, like, one of her most cherished moments are those goodbyes, because you know that you were there for them when they needed you the most.
Yes, exactly. That's another one that I hear besides, but I would get too attached, is how do you say goodbye? I would feel so heartbroken when it's time to say goodbye. And I say, that is foster care. Foster care is providing these kids with a safe, happy, healthy, loving home while their family heals and gets help. And then it's so awesome. I go, even though it's so sad for us foster parents to say goodbye, it's a happy day for the kids. They get to become a family again with their bio family. And so I tell them, I say, it's just like so bittersweet. I feel like foster care in general, it's so bittersweet,
Mm-hmm.
I go, our goodbyes, which we're going to be experiencing soon, it's good. It just means that another family got healthy enough to have their kids again, and that's just the best thing, just knowing that you provided that safe place for them for the short period of time, whether it be weeks or months, that, someone found rest and sanctuary in your home.
Okay. All right, so no other questions in the chat. Again, if you guys have any questions, just put it in the chat and we'll just kind of go through those periodically. All right, so she kind of hit those ones. So what's some advice that you would give to someone interested in becoming a foster parent?
Okay.
Aside from the attachment.
Yeah, number one. I think some advice that I would give to anybody thinking about being a foster parent is just do it. Don't wait until, don't wait until you feel like you're there and you're perfect and you are experienced. You have everything it takes, because it's such a learning process. I mean, none of us are perfect. None of us have it all together by far. And to just give yourself a lot of grace. I mean, every day just know that you're going to try your best. You're going to love these kids well, and that's all you could do. That would definitely be my advice. Besides, get attached. Get attached to them, and just love them well. Love them in their brokenness, and let them find rest in your home, and just do it. Yeah, just jump in and do it. We're all learning as we go along. None of us have arrived. None of us are perfect. We're just taking it day by day, and you won't regret it either. It's just the best feeling to know that you're making a difference in a child's life, and you're making an impact. It's just the best feeling.
Okay. So you've mentioned that Parents by Choice gave you a lot of support when the kids were
Yes.
first in place. What kind of support have they done since then?
Oh, the same. Seriously, I'm not just saying this because I'm at Parents by Choice. No, seriously. I mean, I could just brag on and on and on about Parents by Choice. I mean, like I said, I've only had the privilege of working with a select few. I can't wait to work with more of you guys. But with the ones that I have so far, I mean, so much support. The support definitely doesn't end once they place the kids in your home. You have continued support. I mean, I've even had to call Savannah one time, 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, Savannah, are you awake? She's like, I'm here 24/7 available to you. If I don't answer, I'll call you right back. So yeah, I've had countless support from them, especially with the distance learning now. With school, they've reached out to me and said, Angela, if you need any help with the distance learning, if there's any way we could better support you, just let us know. But yeah, they have just been awesome. The support just totally continues throughout your whole time of foster care with them.
Okay. Um, Still no questions. Okay. Um, all right. So we talked a little bit about kind of your like most cherished moments and watching them grow from not riding a bike to riding a bike. What other things have you experienced so far as a foster parent?
Some other cherished things that I've experienced as a foster parent is, besides all of the first, is just seeing them come to a place where they've let down their guards. I think sometimes coming into the home, us as foster parents have an expectation that they're gonna, arms wide open, run to us and embrace us in our home and our, schedules and activities and all of that. And sometimes it's not always like that at first. Sometimes every kid is different. Some come in more reserved, some just need a little bit of a period of time to adjust and, to get used to a new home, because they're coming out of bad places and out of tragedies. And so, definitely another cherished thing is just seeing them like, wow, you've opened up to us, you've shared things with us, you're comfortable with us now, you know you're just feeling like you're a part of the family now. I think that is just the best, seeing them just really feel like a part of the family. And we always tell them that too, especially when they fight. We're all a family, guys. We're all a family, and I think that's just the best, like when they feel like, wow, I really am a part of this family for this time being.
Okay. So with foster care, kids come in, they're traumatized from certain things in their past. And it's not all rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah.
So what are some of the like more difficult things that you've had to go through with the kids aside from, just reassuring them?
Yeah. Some of the more difficult things, I would say would be, let's see. I'm like, not that there's a lot. I'm just trying to think of how to put it to words. Okay, so some of the difficult things I think would be dealing with some of the emotions when it comes to, like, for instance, when it's like their birthday. I've noticed they'll get more emotional because they're missing their family and traditions they've done. Or, when school went back, they missed the traditions with their family of back to school shopping and back to school pictures and all of that. And so I think that's been difficult, but that's also where I've been learning to have conversations like, hey, your birthday's coming up. Is there something that you've done at home that's special that you want to do here? Or, hey, school's coming up. What something you did back at home to get ready for school? Do you want to do that here to make you feel comfortable? Even with all the holidays coming up, we are going into Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. I think asking the kids, how did you celebrate at your house? Is there something that you want to do here that would help you? Or what kind of foods did you eat there? Can I cook them for you here? That I think that is what I've been learning to help me get through the difficult times with them. And I would also say sometimes when they have visits, which is a good thing, having visits with their family because they're, still keeping that bond and connection, which is totally good. But, sometimes they'll come back really sad, or sometimes it'll be the opposite. They'll come back just super angry. And I think just reminding myself, giving myself a pep talk before they come back, like, okay, they're going to come back from their visit, which is so good and so awesome. But let me just be ready and just have that extra patience and that extra listening ear to just listen to them and stop what I'm doing and make sure that when they come in that door back from their visit, I'm ready for any kind of behavior, and just there for them and letting them know, hey, I know you just had your visit. Can I help you with anything? Do you want to talk to me about anything? How are you feeling? Just having lots of conversations. I think that's the best thing. I think sometimes us as foster parents can get a little scared or nervous, like, do I want to open up the conversation? What am I going to hear? But I think just not being afraid of the trauma they have to share, just letting them know that you are a safe ear and that you're there for them. So that's definitely one of the difficult things that I've been learning to do.
Okay. So the children in your home, are they all foster care, or do you have some in-home uh, intensive service foster care kids?
So we have one
ISFC.
Yeah, intensive service foster care. We have one. I'm still learning all the acronyms.
Yeah.
We have one middle brother, and our other two, oldest and youngest brother, are
regular
foster kids.
Okay.
Or that sounds weird. Say
Yeah.
regular foster kids. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. So they're in regular foster care, whereas the middle one
Yes.
is in intensive service foster care.
Yeah.
So with intensive service foster care, have you noticed a difference between the behaviors or anything like that between the boys?
Yeah, I have, and that's where too I've been using a lot of my support from Savannah and Richard, really putting in that work. Yeah, that's when you're definitely going to use your support. You know, it's always there, and I've been learning too. Sometimes I feel like bad, like I just asked them for something or I just called them, but they're all, don't feel bad. That's what they're there for, and they always tell me, don't feel bad. That's what we're here for. But yeah, the behaviors are a little more intensified. You definitely have to have a little bit more patience, extra patience, on top of dealing with the other kids. Just, a little more patience, being a little bit more just there and present, and just understanding them more, and just using your support system through Parents by Choice more.
Okay. No questions. Okay. All right. Trying to think, what else can we talk about?
It's endless, really.
All right. So you did some research on Parents by Choice before you chose to go through us.
Yes.
As a foster parent. What types of things kind of grabbed your attention?
Yes. So I did check your guys' website out before I even called. I would always see it, driving to Taco Bell. I would always see the sign, and I thought, Parents by Choice, that's so interesting. What is that? I had no idea. And so when I looked it up and I saw it was a foster care agency, I got super excited because we had taken a break from Aldea Agency till now because I got pregnant with my daughter and had my daughter, and we wanted to wait till she was about 3 to start. And so anyways, she had just turned 3. I had seen it, researched it, and looking on the website, looking at your guys' mission, your values, what you guys believe in, the kind of support you offer people. I think those were all very noble things that I was just like, I want to be a part of that. That's so awesome. How can I help? How can I learn more? And after calling and them sharing with me, come on by this Saturday for our, informational class. It was really good. And everyone was so, here's the steps, here's what you do. And then being here and seeing, wow, everyone's heart that I've met so far really does match their website. It literally isn't just a cute little mission statement or, cute little values. No, I've seen everyone live out by that. And so I think the integrity that I've seen with Parents by Choice has just definitely made me not regret my decision coming here.
Okay. She's not being paid to say any of this, by the way.
I know. Disclaimer. No. And it's all truthful things, too.
All right. So we do have a question. This is from John. How do you deal with the emotional aspects of letting go?
Okay, that's a good question. I think you just have to remind yourself. Okay, I'm going to answer this in a couple different ways. Okay, it's not like a direct answer, but I feel like how you deal with letting kids go in your home after you've loved them and created that bond and seen them grow, I would say giving yourself time to grieve. It's okay to be sad and to cry over them and to miss them and to want them to stay. I think that's okay. We shouldn't beat ourselves up over feeling that way. But also reminding yourself of the mission of foster care and the goal of foster care, which is reunification. Foster care it's just temporary. The end goal of foster care is always for the child to be reunified back to their families. Of course, if it's safe and it works out, of course. But I think just reminding yourself, I'm temporary in these kids' lives, and I did my job and I provided a safe place for them. I'm going to have my cry and then be happy for them and just wish them the best and then prepare for the next one. At least that's what I've been doing, just reminding myself. I know there's the cliche quote, foster parent quote that says you're temporary in their lives, but they're forever in your heart. But it is so true, as cliche as it sounds. It's so true. The love will always be there, no matter what. I have all the pictures of the kids in my frames, and as I walk downstairs each day, I see them, and I'm like, oh, like I remember them, and I love them, and I always hope and pray that they're doing well wherever they're at. But just knowing, like, wow, for that month, or for that 6 months, or for that 7 months, or for that week, I provided a safe place for a kid. That's what just keeps me going past the heartbreak and past the hard times of saying goodbye.
Okay. So how do you translate spiritual guidance into teaching and guiding children in difficult moments?
Can you say it one more time?
How do you translate spiritual guidance into teaching and guiding children in difficult moments?
Okay. That's a good question. Who asked that question?
That's John.
That's a good question, John. I was just kidding. Let's see. Sorry, I feel. Okay, how do I translate spiritual moments into teaching?
Spiritual guidance.
Spiritual guidance.
Into teaching and guiding children in difficult moments.
Okay. I think just doing a lot of core values that everybody shares, no matter what their level of spirituality is, like, love and joy and hope and peace and kindness and being respectful. I think those are a lot of the key words that we use with the kids when it comes to teaching moments. Kind of getting more into that, at night, like, for example, we pray with our daughter at night, and I think 4 nights into it, the big brother and little brother asked us, you pray with Grace every night, can you pray with us every night in our room too, for sweet dreams and for a good night? And I was like, oh yeah, if you're open to it and you want to say a little prayer for good night and sweet dreams and a happy day, then let's do it. So I think being respectful of the kids and of what they want and listening to them is what we've been doing as well. Asking them, for instance, too, at dinner when we sit down to eat, I'll ask them, hey, whoever wants to say a little prayer, thank you for our food, go ahead. If you don't want to, hey, you don't have to. So I think just giving them that freedom to pick and choose. Same thing on Sundays when we go to church, asking them, hey, this is what our family does on Sundays. Are you okay with that? Would you mind that? Are you open to that? Do you want to try it out? Just a lot of conversations, and again, a lot of the basic, human values, like I said, that we try to instill in them. Okay. I hope that made sense. That was a really good question, but I hope it made sense, my answer.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense.
Okay.
You can't force your beliefs on a child. So just being that role model.
Right, exactly.
Is
Let's
a good.
Explain it. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm assuming you know him. John Escalante. We are so proud of both of you.
Oh, my father-in-law.
Okay. So yeah, just being that role model and just, doing the things that you normally do with your daughter.
Yeah.
Is a great thing.
Yeah.
Kids pick up on that stuff fast.
Yeah, they do. And it makes them feel like they're really a part of it by sharing it with us. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy to share it with them too.
Okay. All right, so that's all the questions that I have, all the questions that are on the chat. Do you have any last words you want to share?
Well, let's see. I don't think so. I think just thanks, thanks to you for having me, and thanks to Parents by Choice for all of what you guys do. And I think just lastly, again, to anybody watching who's thinking, I want to be a foster parent, should I be a foster parent? Again, it doesn't take the most perfect of people, just, I would say jump in and do it. You have so much support here with Parents by Choice, and just do it. We're all just learning, and we're all just trying to make the best of it, and you just won't regret it. yeah, and I was happy to share with you guys.
Okay. So I did think of another question before we end this.
Okay.
Did you have a choice on the kids being placed in your home?
Yes, you have all the choices. Yes, like when you get a call from the placement specialist, yeah, she'll tell you as much information as she has. You know, age of the child, gender of the child, ethnicity of the child's past history, why they were placed in care. Sometimes they don't have like every single detail, just depending on each case, it's different. But they definitely do give you as much information as they know, and they ask you. No one pressures you. They don't say, "Hey, we're dropping someone off now." No, it's a lot of respect. You know, a lot of communication. They ask you. You know, "Hey, I think this kid would be a great fit in your home. Here's the information. What do you think?" And then you're able to ask any questions. So for me, I have a list of questions in my phone that I have on my notepad. So that way, if I'm like out and about and I get a phone call from you guys, I just pull up my notepad and I just go through my little list of questions. You know, sometimes they get answered from the worker before I even ask, or sometimes I'll just add on to it, you know, and ask her, okay, really quick, you know, boom, boom, boom. And sometimes, you know, she'll say, let me call you right back. I'll find out for you. Or sometimes they don't know or they do know. And then you don't have to say like yes or no right then and there. Like sometimes me and my husband will be at different places. And so I'll say, hold on, can I call my husband really quick, you know? So there's not like this immense pressure like, you know, I need to answer right now. It's no, you know, of course you don't take days or, you know, anything like that. But, you know, like sometimes I'll say, can I call you back in like 30 minutes? Let me just call my husband, run all this by him, I'll call you right back, you know? So there's just a real like, they try to make it real smooth and as easy as transition as possible with no pressure, just, hey, I think this would be a good fit. And sometimes too, just really quick going along with that, not every kid's gonna be a good fit for you because we're all different. You know, there's some kids probably out there who wouldn't thrive in my home as much as they would in the Joneses' home. And that's the beauty of it, is that we all operate different homes, different ways, and the kids are all different. So it's nice to know that the placement workers really look into each kid and where they would thrive at. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's all the questions.
Okay.
You've already kind of said your final words, but do you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if you're interested in becoming a foster parent, you can visit our website at www.parentsbychoice.net. And in our foster care programs, we have a button in there that says Become a Resource Parent. So you just click that and you can get started on the binti portal. So you just kind of put in your basic information. There's an orientation video in there for you to watch and then proceed with all the paperwork. So it's easy for you guys to do, all online at your own pace. And there's training and all that stuff available online with all this COVID stuff. So it makes it easy for you guys. All right. So thank you so much, Angela, for joining us.
Thank you.
Monday at 1 o'clock. I believe it's 1:30, somewhere around there. I'm going to be joined by Myra and Marina. They are going to be talking more about our therapeutic foster care program, which is another step. So we have regular foster care, intensive service foster care, and then therapeutic foster care. So we'll talk a little bit more about that and requirements for foster parents and things like that. So you can join us again then. So thank you so much.
Thank you.